cannot be moved. We cannot be moved. We cannot be moved. We will not be moved. Praise to Yahweh, who lives forever. He cannot be moved. He cannot be moved. He cannot be moved. Those who trust in Yahweh are like Mount Zion. Those who trust in Yahweh are like Mount Zion. Trust in Yahweh. Trust in Yahweh. In Yahweh. Trust in Yahweh.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. My name is Jason.
I'm Caden. I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Eli.
And we are the 𝐤𝐄𝐄 and the Torah YouTube channel. You can find us on Rumble, you can find us on Odyssey, and you can find us right here, wherever you guys are at. And we thank you guys very much for being part of our little tiny family out in the middle of the jungle, who is the family that believes that the laws, statutes, and commandments that are found in the first 5 books of the Bibles of Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy are the guideposts for life. They are the rule base for everything that we run across. They are the set of guidelines that if we will keep them, not only are we going to be more healthier, not only are we going to be in covenant, but we'll also stay alive in a lot of different ways, where when we violate the laws, statutes, and commandments, we put ourselves in a position where we can get sick, where we can fall into problems and traps. And those who keep the Torah, they're not away from danger, because in fact the scriptures talk about those who keep Torah are the enemies of Hasatan. The devil himself is the one who hates the Torah keepers, because he hates anybody who would obey the laws, statutes, and commandments, because he himself is a criminal. He himself is a violator and a blasphemer, and he himself would love to take your soul into Sheol with him forever and for all eternity. And so the other way that we are able to get out of this is the Bible's very clear. There are 2 things that are needed for those to be saved. And Revelation tells us twice that the people who are saved are those who are obeying the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator, and those who have the faith of Messiah, Yahushua. Now, we call him Yahushua because the name Jesus, there were no J's in Hebrew, and the Hebrew man's name would not be called Jesus. He would be called in his native tongue. In his native tongue, his name is Yahushua. And Yah is with us. Yah is salvation. The creator of the universe sent his son, and he called his name salvation. And it is by our faith in him, and it is by our obedience to the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Bible says you can be saved. But many, many people, 41,000 plus religions of people, have come up with their own ways, their own doctrines, their own things that they wish that they do and how they conduct themselves. And majority of the world have said things like the laws of our Creator are no more, that Jesus nailed the laws to the cross, that Jesus fulfilled the law so that we don't have to do it anymore. Now, all 3 of those common excuses are not biblical at all. It is not in scriptures at all. There's no such thing as that. From the beginning of time, our Creator has said, look, I will be your Elohim. I will be the one that walks with you very clearly. But one thing is I need you to do. I need you to be obedient to my ways. I need you to walk how I want you to walk and how I have created my creations to walk. And if you do this, I'm going to bless you. I'm going to enhance your life. I'm going to do many, many great things, including supernatural protection all around us. So the other option is for us to be lawless. We can be the people that Messiah talks about, the Torah-less people that are told to depart from him when they go to him and they say in very clear words they thought they knew him. They thought they knew all about him. And when he looks at them and says, depart from me because you work lawlessness, that is the problem that we are running into today, is because the 41,000 different religions that we have do not line up with scriptures. There's no such thing as the way that Sunday keeping, right? The majority of the world is on Sunday keeping, the day of the sun. That's not biblical. So everything we've been taught in church, every programming that we have ever been by the man standing at the top of a pulpit in a church made of man, it does not line up with scriptures at all. And so if it doesn't line up with scriptures and it is at the expense of our souls that we don't have the right information, this is why we encourage everybody to read their scriptures from the front of the book to the very end of the book. And we begin at page 1 of Genesis 1, and we don't end until we're at the very end of Revelation. And we read it very slowly as a love letter and a technical guideline from our Creator to us. And if we read it in that aspect and we read it as the greatest source of information we will ever have in our entire lives, then it becomes clear. And Scriptures tells us we don't just need to read it, but we need to understand the laws of our Creator. We need to have all the word should be written on our hearts. It should be written on our mind. It should be everything that we get up with. We should talk about it at the end of the day. Everything has to do with Torah. It all has to do with being in covenant with our Creator. And this is what we are striving for. So with that, Cade, will you please open us in prayer?
Precious Father, we thank you once again for putting us in your rest after a week of trials and tribulations. We thank you for being kind to us and showing mercy to us, that you would open our eyes and show us the day you have ordained, the day you have chosen for us to rest on. And we ask that it is a blessed day, that it is a sanctified day, that your will is done today. As we read your Torah today, that we find what you have set out for us to find, that we see the love that you have given to us, you loved us so much, you gave us some commands, you gave us a Torah, you gave us things that will keep us alive and keep us healthy and keep us strong. We thank you for that, and we ask that your name is blessed today, and we ask all this in Jesus' name.
All right, Jade, give us our Shema.
Hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah is one. You shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, with all your being, and with all your might. And these words I am commanding you today shall be in your heart. You shall impress them upon your children. You shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. And shall blind them as a sign on your hand. They shall be frontlets between your eyes. You shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates.
Okay, and so these are very important words. Not only are they just words, but these are words that if you truly love your Creator with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your might, this is what we are told to do. And we as a family here, we talk about Torah a lot. We talk about it. We get up every single morning before we really begin our house. We start, most of the weeks, we start reading scriptures. And this is what it is told to be. We're not supposed to just be given this guideline, but we are supposed to do these things that he's commanding us, which shall be in our heart. And if things are in our heart, we are walking by them, right? They're part of our life. These are so important that we're supposed to talk about them to our children. We're supposed to speak of them when we're sitting in our house, when we're walking, by the way, when we're lying down, when we're rising up. That's like every place you are in a day, right? You wake up laying down, you should be thinking about Torah. When you get up, when you're standing up, when you're walking, this is what our Creator wants us to do. This is why it is important, and we must seek him and seek his ways, because his ways are perfect and his ways are awesome. And it is so important that they say that we should bind them as a sign on our hand. They should be as frontlets between our eyes. Guys, if you have something, a frontlet between your eyes, you cannot look at the world without looking at the litmus test of the Torah. That is why Deuteronomy 6 is such an amazing verse. All right, so guys, we are going to go into the laws, statutes, and commandments that we do every single week, and Mr. Cole is going to give a shout out to everybody who was out there prior to this.
All right, we have the Grand,
Hi, Graham.
Days Rainy,
Hey.
𝐤𝐄𝐄,
Hi, Irma.
Bonecat 1,
Hey.
Jeremy and Callan,
What's up, Callan?
Candy, Ruby,
Hi, girls. Candy Ruby, how are you?
Sister Barb,
Hi, sis.
Lisa,
Hi.
Rosie Chica,
Rosie.
Obi Lines, Chris.
What's up, brother? Good to see you, brother.
We have Elizabeth,
Hi, Liz.
and Katrina just walked in, so Shabbat Shalom. And I think that's everybody. But I wanted to read one of these things. Rosie Chica says, obedience protects us and keeps us safe and healthy too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And sometimes we may not feel safe, but trust me, when people don't understand, you see, the thing about the Torah is there's blessings and curses, and most of the time, people don't even realize the blessings they have missed out on, which are actually going to be the curses, right? Because if we are not in obedience and we missed out on a lifetime of blessings, we just do not know how much our Creator would have blessed us, how much He would have taken care of us. And it's a two-way street. It is not something that we just are stuck in some sort of shackles and chains and bondage like the Christians say. In fact, we have been given the keys to freedom with obedience and the ability that we can seek our Creator, that we can serve Him, that we can serve Him how He wants us to be served to, right? There's a way and there's a process, and it's not hard. And it is something that is just amazing. The walk with our Creator is simply amazing. There's not a better way of life. I would not want to be walking these lands unless I had the Torah, unless I had a way forward, which is what the Torah means. The Torah means it's not, they take and they say it's law, but it's really the proper translation is the way forward. And so when we look at the Torah as the way forward versus the law, it may make a lot more sense to us. And so let us begin reading the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator. Number 1, be fruitful.
Number 2, multiply.
Replenish the earth, subdue it, have dominion over the fish, fowl, and every living creature.
The herb bearing and every tree is for food.
Man and woman should build their own families.
Master sin.
Every clean moving thing that lives shall be food for you.
Do not eat the blood.
Walk before me and be perfect.
Guard Yahuwah's laws, covenant, statutes, and commandments.
Every male shall be circumcised 8 days old.
Teach children the commands and guard the way of Yahuwah.
Remember Yahuwah's name for all generations.
Keep the Passover.
Keep the feast of unleavened bread, festival of matzah.
There's one Torah for the stranger and the Hebrew.
Sanctify all firstborn to Yahuwah.
There are no mighty ones before Yahuwah.
You shall not make graven images.
Do not bring Yahuwah's name to naught.
Keep the Shabbat, Sabbath.
Honor your parents.
Do not kill.
Do not break wedlock.
Do not steal.
Do not make false accusations against your neighbor.
Do not covet anything of your neighbors.
Do not make an altar from rock that a tool has touched.
Do not go up to the altar by the steps.
If a man steals cattle, he shall restore it 5 times.
Yahuwah's laws for criminals.
Do not lie with beast.
No sacrifices to other Elohim.
Do not oppress a stranger, fatherless, or widow.
Do not charge your brother interest.
If you borrow your neighbor's raiment, return to him before sunset.
Do not curse the ruler of your people.
Do not eat what is torn of any beast.
No false report.
Do not follow a multitude of evil.
Do not judge unrighteously against the poor.
Bring back your enemy's cattle if you find it going astray.
Help the animals of your enemy.
Stay away from rumors and gossipers.
Take no bribes.
Do not oppress a stranger. Love the stranger.
Give your land rest in the 7th year.
Do not mention any pagan names.
Keep the feast of Yahuwah.
Do not cook your goat in his mother's milk.
Obey the messenger Yahuwah sends before you.
Do not bow down to other Elohim.
Serve Yahuwah.
Make no covenant with other Elohim or outsiders of the land.
Do not make or use this anointing oil on a person. Do not make or use perfume on a person.
Do not eat the fat.
Do what you say you are going to do.
Return what is your neighbor's.
Obey Yahuwah's dietary laws.
Women's time of separation.
Obey Yahuwah's hygiene laws.
Keep the Day of Atonement, Yom HaKippurim.
Do not uncover the nakedness of your family.
Do not take your woman's sister for wife.
Do not lie with a woman in her uncleanness.
You shall not sacrifice your children to Moloch.
Do not be a sodomite.
Be Kodesh.
Do not reap the corn of your field, or you shall not glean your vineyard.
Do not deal falsely or defraud your neighbor.
Do not lie or be a liar.
Pay your workers for the day's wage they are due.
Do not harm the disabled.
Do not endanger your neighbor.
Do not hate your brother.
Rebuke your neighbor for his sin.
Love your neighbor as yourself.
Do not diverse your cattle.
Do not mingle your seed.
Do not mingle linen and wool.
Do not lie with a taken woman.
Do not eat the fruit of the trees for 3 years.
Do not practice sorcery.
Do not round your beard or the corners of your head.
Do not cut yourself for the dead.
Do not get tattoos.
Do not prostitute your daughter.
Do not defile your temple.
All right, hold on. We got Irma that was talking about going back. The here, I'll have to scroll back there. It's talking about the perfumes and stuff on this. And where's it at? Let's see.
It would have been, it's like 56, 57, but we
Yeah, I
don't
don't have the numbers on this
I don't
thing.
either.
Where is it here? There it is right there. And so this is the thing. Why do we have to get it close? Okay, let's get that open. Okay, let's go over this real quick. Sorry, guys. Dogs always doing what they do. Okay, so the command right here is do not use this anointing oil on a normal person, and also do not use this perfume on a normal person. So what it's talking about here is that we are talking about Levitical fragrances that our Creator in Exodus gave us to spruce His place up. They are perfumes and they are anointing oils that He gave our when I say He, is our Creator Yahuwah gave us a recipe for, and it's to be used in the temple, but it is not to be used on any person, and we're not to concoct that same perfume as ourselves, even though that our Creator gave us the recipe for it. We're not to put this on there. So there's something very incredible about this, and this is Levitical anointing oils is what that is. So hopefully that does that, guys.
Sister Barb cleanses air of evil.
Yeah, cleanses air of evil. Okay, where are we at, guys? Because I'm way off this thing.
We're down by respect your elders.
Okay, respect your elders. I don't even know what it's
Ron, do not defile your temple. Which is Leviticus area.
We really need to.
Leviticus 19, yeah.
Leviticus 19. Do we beard the? I don't think I'm way fast, guys.
We did that one.
Okay.
Go down like.
I need some
3,
numbers on these things.
Right there. Do not defile your temple.
Do not defile your temple. Okay, sorry, guys. All right, let's continue on. Hopefully that helps you out, Irma, on what that is. Okay, continue on.
Do not consult the medium.
Respect your elders.
Have correct weights and measures.
Do not walk in the manner of the nations.
Keep the feast of first fruits, Shavuot, or count Pentecost.
Give feast of trumpets, Yom Torah.
Keep the feast of Sukkot, Shimni Atzeret.
If you blaspheme the name of Yahuwah, you shall be put to death.
If you kill your neighbor's animal, you must give him another.
Repay injury for injury.
Honor the Yobel year, the Jubilee year.
Confess your sins to Yahuwah, and repay who you have trespassed against.
The law of being a Nazir.
Wear zizi on the four corners of your garments.
Laws of whoever touches a corpse.
Follow Yahuwah's law of inheritance.
The law of keeping your oath to Yahuwah.
Do not add or take away from the word.
Very important one. I like to touch on this a lot, but we live in a society where, it doesn't matter. You have 41,000 religions, and every one of these 41,000 religions have broken this commandment right out of the gate. Catholics have broken this command. Presbyterians, Lutherans, Mormons, you name it, whatever it is. If you're sitting there worshiping on a Sunday, you have taken away from the word and you have added to the word. And you ask anybody, why do you worship on a Sunday? And they're like, well, the church changed it to Sunday. Yeah, well, and that's the thing, is when they say church, we're talking Catholics. We're talking about the Catholic religion, who they absolutely changed the day of worship, but it was not legally, right? You cannot legally change the Shabbat to another day of the week. And so we are, what I believe, is living in the last end days of the end days. Like these are the final times. And so one of these things is when you guys have questions or a misunderstanding, or you don't understand this thing, if it's not in the word, if it is not in scriptures from the front of the book to the back of the book, then you need to look at this with suspicion. Something should be very suspicious, right? If you don't see anything in scriptures and people are trying to get you to line up with that, that means we've taken away and added to the word. And you will not be able to show me a single so-called religion that has not done that. I will find that they have done absolutely everything to that. You can't call yourself a religion and be in a organized religion without breaking Deuteronomy 4:2. It doesn't happen. Okay, guard your soul.
Learn to fear Yahuwah.
Shall love Yahuwah with all your heart.
Bind the Torah upon your hand in the frontlets between your eyes.
Write the Torah on your doorposts.
Do not tempt Yahuwah.
Do what is right and good in the sight of Yahuwah.
Let's go back to that. And what did the Grand say? Those last couple comments, doesn't read those.
The Grand says it's not even worshiping.
Yeah, it's not worshiping, but yet you will have the hand of Hasatan, that you will have churches made by man that people will go in. I used to be that all the time. The music would start playing. We all start feeling like we're really holy. We all feel like the spirit's in us. We're all, doing what we think. But our Creator's not there, and the devil can absolutely put you into that euphoria feeling that you think that you're worshiping our Creator, you think that, but he's not there. He's not there on a Sunday. If you're looking for your Creator in a man-made church on a Sunday, he is just not there. And going into this whole thing of a commandment, Deuteronomy 6:16, is do not tempt Yahuwah. Guys, this is a very, very important command. This is like kids that are sitting there tempting your parents. You have your dad and he has a switch in his hand and you just keep doing bad things. Pretty soon that switch is going to start tanning your hide, right? Same with our Creator. We are not to tempt him. If you are going to a man-made church on a Sunday, and you think that our Creator is there and you're worshiping something there, that is called tempting our Creator. He's not there. He doesn't want you to be there. He does not congregate with people that are worshiping on the wrong day. Guys, the first day is not the seventh day. And so these are all things that our Creator wants us to do. And it goes to the next commandment, which is do what is right and good in the sight of Yahuwah, right? And that people will stop right there and they will do what is good in the sight of themselves. You will talk to people about these traditions of men. You will talk to people about all of these foul things that we're associated with, and they will do what is good in their own sight. But if we look at things through the eyes of Yah, through the eyes of our Father, through the eyes of our Creator, the one that loves us with everything that He has ever done and has created us in a perfect form, and we are doing evil against Him, we're not going to succeed. We're not going to succeed at all. Okay, do not be afraid of your enemies.
Remember Yahuwah.
And circumcise your heart.
Cleave to Yahuwah.
Swear by his name.
Destroy graven images.
Do not make an idol of Yahuwah as the pagans do to their Elohim.
Rejoice in all Yahuwah has blessed you with.
Do not do what is right in your own eyes.
Do not hearken to the words of false prophets.
Do not make any baldness between your eyes for the dead.
You shall not eat any abominable thing.
You shall give to a stranger clean food that dies itself, but you shall not eat of it.
Give the tithe of your increase of seed year by year.
The laws of the end of the 7-year lease.
Do not borrow from the nations.
Do not harden your heart, nor shut your hand from the poor.
Guard month 1 of Yahuwah's calendar.
3 times a year all males shall appear before Yahuwah.
You shall make judges and officers in all your gates.
Do not plant Asherah poles near the altar.
There must be 2 or 3 witnesses.
Hearken unto the Nabai, the prophet Yahuwah has chosen.
Prophet tested Deuteronomy.
Do not remove your neighbor's property line.
How to deal with false witness among Torah keepers.
The first child to get double portions.
If your brother's cattle or clothes are lost and you find them, you must return them.
A woman should not row where it pertains to a man, nor a man where it pertains to a woman.
If you find a bird's nest with the mother and the babies or eggs, take the babies, not the mother.
If you build a new house with a flat roof that it will be lived on, you must put a railing around it.
Do not be a prostitute.
Do not use dirty money.
Law of divorce.
Do not take a person's millstone for a pledge.
If you lend to your brother, do not enter his house with your pant. He must bring it to you, return his clothing before sunset if that was his pledge.
Do not oppress a hired servant that's poor and needy.
Every man shall be put to death for his own sin.
Do not go back for forgotten sheaves and field, leave it for the stranger, fatherless, and widow.
Do not muzzle your ox when you tread out grain.
If your brother dies and has no child, you shall take his wife and name the firstborn after your brother.
At the end of the 7 years, you are to read the Torah at the Feast of Sukkot.
The Feast of Tabernacles. Okay, so there we go, guys. That is these laws, statutes, and commandments that were given to us by the hand of our Creator, into the hands of Moshe, his valiant servant, who is an amazing dude who hopefully one day we can all meet and high five and get some airtime with him and see how he's doing. And right now, let's talk about where we are at in the scriptures. Jade, or anybody who wants to do a recap of this, bring us back to where we are today, please.
So we had Moses up on the mountain, getting his commands, teaching the people, teaching Moshe what he needs to teach the people, getting all the plans for the tabernacle, getting the plans for the veil, the altar, all that stuff, getting all stuff in hand. And in the middle of it, the Israelites go mad and they're like, Aaron, build us a god, make us a god that we can worship. And so he does, and he takes all their gold and he makes it. And Yahoo goes, we need to stop real quick. He goes, your people, they've gone mad, they've created an idol for themselves, and now they're worshiping it. So Moses goes down with the commands in his hand, and he sees what's going on. He throws it down, he breaks it, and it causes like, what was it, 3,000 people?
Yeah.
It was 3,000
Or
people.
was it
there.
8,000? It was
3,000.
3,000 people died because of this incident, and there was a small separation of peoples in the tribes of Israel, and now Moses has to go back up and deal with it.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, Moses pleaded for their lives. He said, "Don't destroy them." Mitzrayim will hear of this, and they will hear. They'll him smote them in the wilderness. But Yahuwah promised Moshe, he's like, "I will make a people out of you," because there would still be a promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that he would get. There would be generations to continue on. So Moses is like, "No, please keep these people alive. They're your people. Do not smote them here."
Yeah, and he also said to the point that if he wouldn't forgive them, that he asked that Yah would blot him out as well, which is crazy. If you don't use a private VPN or search, you get totally different answers. Yeah, I don't know what they're actually talking about that, but definitely on the everything. Search engines are completely censored. Like you will. It doesn't, because we're down here in South America, and so what you search down here is obviously it's not the same as you search up in North America. But when you do use various things and various search engines, it doesn't matter what you use, but everything is completely censored. You may get a few more truths if you use a VPN, but for the most part, the search engines are all part of what they call memory holing, the black holing, to where they're getting rid of all of this stuff, right? The book burning of the 21st century is what you're looking at right now. And, you know, instead of book burning, they're getting rid of all the history, everything they have, and then they ban you and censor you if you say something that goes against the powers that be. So, yeah, here we go. All right, Exodus 33. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, "Come, go up from here, you and the people whom you have brought out of the land of Mitzrayim, to the land which I swore to Abraham, to Yitzchak, and to Yaakov, saying, to your seed I give it. And I shall send my messenger before you, and I shall drive out the Canaanite, and the Amorite, and the Kittite, and the Perizzite, and the Kewite, and the Jebusite, to a land flowing with milk and honey. For I do not go up in your midst, because you are a stiff-necked people, lest I consume you on the way." All right, let's talk about that right here, right? I mean, Yah knows everything, right? He knows how he even knows himself well enough to know that he shouldn't be hanging out with these people right here, because he's going to kill them all because they are a stiff-necked people. So this is what we hear a lot about, stiff-necked, right? Stiff-necked people, Moshe says it all the time. It's just talked about a tremendous amount of time. This is what we don't want to be. We don't want to be the stiff-necked people. The stiff-necked people are a people that just don't seem to get it, and they never got it, right? All the way to Messiah, these people keep going in and out of captivity. They keep going, they keep breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. So here we are in Exodus 33, long before they ever go into exile, long before before they even take over the land, right? And our Creator is worried that he can't walk with them because he's going to kill them all, which obviously when somebody goes out and creates a golden idol and all these things, and still we're dealing with people that grew up in Egypt. They grew up in another land. They grew up with complete raging Gentiles that do just about everything. And so, never thought about that. Figured they'd all censored you. Yeah. So this is what our Creator is. He wants his people continued on, and I find that very fascinating. And I guess the point is that all of us started off being stiff-necked, and all of us were Babylonians. We all grew up in Babylon. It doesn't matter where we're at in the world. We all have a piece of Babylon with us. We're all to this age and time, and we don't want to be what really angers our Creator, which is stiff-necked. And if we're stiff-necked, that means we're not in covenant with our Creator. 4.
Rosie Chica says iron necks.
Iron necks, yeah, absolutely. Iron necks. They won't turn to the left. They do. They turn to the left and right. But here we go. And when the people heard this evil word, they mourned, and no one put on his ornaments. All right, let's talk about that. Ornaments. Why would these people?
I assume that's like all the jewelry and all the earrings.
So, and that's the thing is, I think we're probably, if we looked back in this day, it would probably look like a bunch of Egyptians would be more than likely, because all these guys knew, and their forefathers had kind of let them down as far as who and Yah was and what he wanted from all of us. Okay, 5. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, "Say to the children of Israel, you are a stiff-necked people. Should I go up in your midst for one moment, I shall consume you. And now take off your ornaments, and I shall know what to do with you." Okay, so here we are again. This is where, he's, if you have, like the minister of the Creator of the universe, who is telling you that you're a stiff-necked people, this is something we should probably all understand and try not to be a stiff-necked person. And this is what these guys were. Okay, 6. So the children of Israel took off their ornaments at Mount Horeb. Now, hold on here, because verse 4 on this says, "And no one put on his ornaments." Verse 5, though, Yah is telling Moshe to tell these people, "Take off your ornaments, and I shall know what to do with you."
His people who still had them on from before.
Maybe. So the children of Israel took off their ornaments at Mount Horeb. There's something we don't know. And a lot of times in scriptures, we're not dealing with a day. We're not dealing with 2 days. Sometimes you'll go from one verse to the next, and that's like 15 years. You just do not know exactly what this was. And the thing about the numberings in scriptures, when was it? When did they add numberings to the scriptures?
I can't remember what year, but it was like 1500.
Yeah, it's the 1500s. We never even had like chapter 33, verse 4 or verse 5, verse 5. Prior to the 1500s, this was all one big scroll, right? And people read it as, they'll stop at a certain verse. And this is, having the verses is something that has been has led so many people to the end because they think that it's just, okay, so we stop right here. And when these were all one big letter. Okay. Yeah, 7. And I don't know why they took out their ornaments after they already said they had their ornaments off, but we'll continue on into 7. Verse isolation. And Moshe took his tent and pitched it outside the camp, far from the camp, and called it the tent of appointment. And it came to be that everyone who sought Yahuwah went out to the tent of appointment, which was outside the camp. Okay, so what just happened right here in verse 7? Anyone?
So Moses separated from the people and basically became the place.
Moses separated, or who separated?
Well, Yahuwah separated, but he had Moses also to separate from the people. So they separated themselves because they're the only last holy people inside the camp. So if they want to talk to Yahuwah, they had to go to this tent.
Right, and so what did that essentially? Yahuwah, he essentially distanced himself from his people. Right, he did not want to be in the very middle of the people. 8. And it came to be, whenever Moshe went out to the tent, that all the people rose, and each man stood at his tent door and watched Moshe until he entered the tent. This is like this is an interesting thing, right? Everybody, this is Moshe going out, everybody in the, standing up and watching the man of Yah walk into this tent. It just seems like a very interesting time, because this is not a happy time, right? This is a sad time because the people lost Yah dwelling inside of their camp, right? The biggest amazing thing that you could ever have is you could have the creator of the universe walking side by side with you, and they essentially got a little divorced at this, right? Yah moved away from where they were at, and Moshe had. I just find it fascinating. Okay, 9. And it came to be when Moshe entered the tent that the column of cloud descended and stood at the door of the tent. And he spoke with Moshe. Now, do you guys think it's a heavy cloud? You guys think it's a light cloud? Do you think it's a fog? What kind of cloud? Could they?
That's a column of clouds, so you can obviously see it.
Right. And so, does it go down? Can you see the door of the tent anymore? Is it like a fog, like a dense fog that you can still see through?
I don't know.
No one has any idea. Eli?
I think it stands above. I don't think it stands like right front. I think it stands above the door.
You think it went to be above it?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think so.
How high do you guys think this thing went in the sky?
Probably as far as they can
Made
make.
visible.
Think it went all the way to the top?
Yeah.
Like just a column all the way to the top?
Yeah.
I don't know about that because then other people would see it and they'd know where the Israel is. The Israelites are.
Maybe, but I think everyone knew where they were anyway, right? I mean,
Maybe.
And it's really hard to hide 2 million people.
yeah. Okay. The children must learn how to approach Yah, and how not to approach Yah is with traditions of men, right? With that golden calf, right? That's how we don't serve our Creator, is how He doesn't want us to do it. Okay. 11. Thus Yahuwah spoke to Moshe face to face, as a man speaks to his friend, and he would return to the camp. But his servant Yahushua, son of Nun, a young man, did not leave the tent. Okay, and we're gonna head over here. Let's discuss this real quick. Yahushua, right? So here we have Yahushua. He was a young man. Does not leave the tent. What do you guys make of this?
He is someone that righteous on the mountain. He's been chosen for a reason. Way up before
He was definitely raised well. He was definitely raised in like the command of Yahuwah.
But he didn't have any parents. That joke never even. He's the son of none. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Sorry. Anyway, so what do we make of this? When did he leave? Did he ever leave, you think? I mean, how often? And
Probably, they both probably had to go out at some point.
why do you think he didn't leave and Moshe left? What's the significance? What do you think he was doing in there?
Because Yahuwah had appointed him. He's probably down to Joshua, teaching Joshua what to do because he was appointed way before he was ever chosen to lead the Israelites.
Do you guys think that Yah was talking to Joshua face to face, like it said he was talking to Moshe face to face?
Maybe.
Maybe. Why didn't it say that then? Why don't you guys think that is there another process? Do you think Joshua had that same kind of communication that Moshe did?
I think Joshua had, it's hard to like protect the tent, like to be near the tent, not let anybody near it.
Protect it, you think?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, it's a special tent.
Yeah, it's definitely a special
So I
tent.
think it was more of Joshua that you like make sure nobody like ruins or nobody like gets near that's unholy.
Yeah, it's interesting that if Joshua was talking to Yah face to face, that it doesn't say that. So it could be interesting. What used to me are your many slaughterings? I have had enough. Yeah, that's Isaiah, right? Yeshayahu. Yeah. So and that's what it's talking about. And a lot of people, going into that whole Yeshayahu, the Isaiah verse there, you have a group of people on YouTube that will take that verse and they will say that we cannot keep the appointed times. We cannot keep any of this. We're all in captivity. There's no reason we should ever be keeping the appointed times because, and then they will quote verses like this because what Yah is talking about is our Creator wants obedience over slaughter, right? He would much rather have us walking in covenant that we did not have to have innocent animals killed for our sake because we cannot be obedient. That is what it wants. Our Creator wants obedience. Yeah, Bathroom Bob. That's the Bathroom Bob crowd. Okay. I always thought this Moshe wasn't with his wife. He was on call. Yeah, I don't know. I wish the messages would stay up. Is there anything else on that?
No, it just said, I always thought this is why Moshe wasn't with his wife. He was always on call to be in the presence at any time.
Yeah, he was definitely on call, no doubt. Okay, Exodus 33:1, guys. We're reading out of the Targums. This is the Targums of Exodus, which is a book that was written. I think it was by the rabbis way back in the day, prior to some of the translations that we have now. And we've definitely found some weird stuff in this. But as we find it, we definitely point it out at what we find. Okay.
I think it was written in Aramaic.
Written in Aramaic by coming out of Babylon captivity, I believe. And so it was an early one of these scriptures. And so this is interesting stuff. So Exodus 33:1. And Yahuwah spake with Moshe, go, remove you here, lest my anger grow hot against the people, and I consume them. Therefore proceed you, and the people whom you did bring out of the land of Mitzrayim, which I have covenanted unto Abraham, to Isaac, and Jacob, saying, unto your sons will I give it. And I will appoint before you a messenger, and by his hand will cast out the Canaanite, the Amorite, the Hittite, and the Pharisee, the Hivi, and the Jebusite, to the land producing milk and honey. For the presence of my glory cannot go up among you, nor my majesty dwell in the habitation of their camp, because you are a hard-necked people, lest I destroy you on the way. And the people heard this evil word, and mourned. And no man put on his accustomed ornaments, which he had been given them at Mount Sinai, and on which was inscribed and set forth a great and set apart name. All right, so this is different than what we have in the regular scriptures, because this is what we had a little bit of confusion in our scriptures, the regular scriptures, because now it's talking about that people had been given ornaments. Where do we have this in scriptures about ornaments? And then it says on the ornaments were inscribed a set forth and great set apart name, which would be Yahuwah, right?
Right.
So what can we make from 33:4 in this version of the scriptures? What's going on, do you think?
I think this is 11. I don't think this because
You think this is 11?
I might be against that because
we got the priests' garments, right? We got what they're supposed to put on there, but they haven't been made yet.
Okay, but 33:4 in our scriptures we can't deduce because it says essentially that they all took off their ornaments and then
and maybe that's why Yahuwah had them take them off because he didn't want them wearing his name while they were hard necks.
maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. That could very well be it. Yeah. Okay, let's try 33:5. I don't know, guys. We're just speculating here. We don't know. Okay, 33:5. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, "Speak to the sons of Yashrael. You are a hard-necked people. Were the glory of my presence to go up with you, in 1 hour, in 1 little hour, I should destroy you. And now put your accustomed ornaments from you, that it may be manifest before me what I may do to you." Okay, so it does tell us a little bit more than regular scriptures, right? Put apart your accustomed ornaments. So Yah was talking about another set of ornaments, which I think kind of makes sense on this. Does this make sense, everyone?
I think so.
Or is
It
anyone
makes
still with me?
sense to me.
Okay, 33:6. And the sons of Yashrael were deprived of their usual adornments, on which was written and set forth a great name, and which had been given them a gift from Mount Horeb. And Moshe took and hid them in his tabernacle of instruction. All right, this could very much be leaven, right? Because we don't have anything like this about people getting adornments, and this to me sounds like it's actually going against the word of Yah, right? When do we have any kind of instructions that we have things like this? Like, I mean, if we had if we were writing down things, I mean, this sounds like that, having the pictures of Messiah on the wall and all this stuff, the Catholic stuff like this. We don't know this. This could very well be like extreme leaven. We don't know. And so, guys, keep this as probably just the back of your head. We don't know exactly what it was. And even in regular scriptures from 33:4 to 33:6, we don't have a lot of understanding on this. So I guess we're going to go this way. But something obviously happened there that we don't have the full story on, or we probably just go, oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, 33:7. But the tabernacle he took away from there and spread it without the camp and removed it from the camp of the people to the distance of 2,000 cubits. And it was called the tabernacle of the house of instruction. And it was that when anyone turned by repentance with a true heart before Yahuwah, he went forth to the tabernacle of the house of instructions that was without the camp to confess and pray for the pardon of his sins, and praying he was forgiven. All right, 33:7. Read that, Kate, because this is way big.
And Moshe took his tent and pitched outside the camp, far from the camp, and called it the tent of appointment. And it came to be that everyone who saw Yahuwah went out to the tent of appointment, which was outside the camp.
Okay, so we have a distance here, 2,000 cubits. What is a cubit, guys? Isn't a cubit 18 inches?
Yeah.
So what is that? Somebody get that. 2,000 times 18 inches is what? Because that will tell us exactly how far that was.
36,000?
That's 36,000.
Yeah.
36,000 inches, and you divide that by 12, and that's how many feet away?
That'd be
3,000 feet.
Is it 3,000 feet?
12,000.
It's 3,000 feet?
3,000.
So we're almost 5,280 feet is a mile. So
A
we're
little over half a mile.
a little over half a mile is how far Yah put that.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
2 million people, right? Roughly 2 million people. That's gotta be like, you gotta like move way away from people if you want it away from them.
Yeah, this is a long ways. All right, so can you please read Ruby's thing in there, please? Oh, there it is. It's back again. Is it possible at any point the people of Yah had special engraved jewelry that others know they follow Yah, kind of like tzitzis? See, that sounds like it goes against Torah. That just we have the Deuteronomy 4:2 says we should not add anything to or take away from it, which is why it's always iffy when we're reading things like the Targum, because this is very interesting. We don't know how far, when it says 3,000 cubits, like it's a little over half a mile. Again, that's not in regular scripture, so all we can do is speculate on this and see what it is. But it seems like a long ways away. Yah went a bit of a distance, and let us go. Yeah, what's up, Jeannie? How you doing? Good to see you, sis. Okay, 33:8. And it was when Moshe passed forth from the camp to go to the tabernacle that all the wicked people arose and stood, every man at the door of his tent, and looked with the evil eye after Moshe when he entered the tabernacle. Now, this is completely different than the other thing. It doesn't say anything about evil people. It doesn't say anything about the evil eye. What's your 33:8 say, Kate?
And it came to be whenever Moshe went out to the tent, that all the people rose, and each man stood at his tent and watched Moshe until he entered the tent.
See, that doesn't. This this really feels like 11. I don't know why all the evil men would want to sit and look at the door. I mean, they basically they threw this in there.
I think it's more of like an honor thing, right? Like, let's go see the man of Yah enter into Yah's presence.
Yeah, and as far as everybody, what the Grand says, having the mitre, we haven't even made it through like stuff. I mean, we haven't even dressed up Aaron yet, right?
No, I mean, we've gotten the directions
so there would
for it,
be-
but it's not happened yet.
Yeah, and we don't have the priesthood like quite yet like this, where they're dressed up. I don't think. Okay, let's see where we're at here. So yeah, anyway, 33:8 sounds really leavenish to me. Like this is something that just is sketchy. You'd have to look this up in other versions to see what exactly it said. Okay, 33:9. I'm sure there's good people and I'm sure there's evil people that were watching him. I'm sure everybody, I would be mystified. If I was in a tent and Moshe was going out to that tent every day and there was a giant cloud coming down on the top of it, I would probably stand out there and watch this whole thing come down. It would probably be very entertaining, probably scary, things of that nature, but I would definitely do that. All right, what did
ESS commentary on Hosea 4Q166. She knew not that it was who I gave her the new wine and the oil, who lavished upon her silver. Sorry, there's a thing in my way always. Silver and gold, which they used for Baal. Interpreted, this means that they ate and I don't know.
8, 9, yeah, okay. 33:9. And it came to pass when Moshe had gone in the tabernacle, a column of the glorious cloud descended and stood at the door of the tabernacle. And the word of Yahuwah spake with Moshe. And all the people beheld the column of the cloud standing at the door of the tabernacle. And the whole people at once rose up and worshiped towards the tabernacle, standing every man at the door of his tent. See, this version of this seems very Levinish because now you have everybody looking at the tabernacle, but the very first thing says all the wicked men, and I don't know if that doesn't sound right at all. So let's continue on.
I have a quick question.
What?
Back to Ruby's thing where she says to show that they followed Yah like wearing tzitzits. They didn't have the tzitzits command yet.
Yeah,
right?
we don't have Numbers 15:38 is tzitzit, so we didn't even have a command. We don't have a command for like another couple of books. So the thing about Yah is he does not want us to have things. You're not supposed to put his name on stuff. I mean, what is the commandment on what is in the
Just don't have graven images or idols.
graven images, idols? You're not supposed to. I don't think you're supposed to have names of things like the Shemaim or things like you're supposed to be worshiping like this. Anyone have anything?
No,
Anyone have any follow-up?
Says
Name's fine.
But maybe they came out of Egypt, but after they left Egypt, they made some ornaments.
There it is, Sister Barb. Yeah, bring my name to naught. And so, yeah, so this is good. Yeah, so I don't think what they were doing, whatever their little things were, I don't think Yah needs us to carry around talismans of some kind of thing with his name on it, right? His people are obvious because his people are different than the rest of the world. They smell different than the rest of the world. I mean, it's obvious when you find Torah keepers that really are Torah keepers because they're different than everybody else. Okay, 33:11. And Yahuwah spake with Moshe, word for word. The voice of the word, and it says Deborah, must be Hebrew, was heard. But the majesty of the presence was not seen in the way that a man converses with his companion. And after the speaking voice had ascended, he returned to the camp and delivered the word to the congregation of Yashrael. But his minister, Yahushua, son of Nun, a young man, removed not from the tabernacle. Okay, all right, so we're going to head back over into Yah Scriptures right here. And the good news on this app is I think in under 2 weeks, probably less than that, Miss Nicole will have the final finishes of this, and we will release this app to everybody out there. And as you guys can see, I'll do a quick little thing. This app has all of the books, and it also has all of the extracurricular books as well. And so this is a very good read, and hopefully we'll have this out to you guys like very soon. Okay, where are we at, Eli?
12.
12? Okay. Here we are. Yah Scriptures, verse 12. Just declaring we shouldn't wear things with Yah's name on it. No, I don't think that's the case. I mean, if we're carrying around talismans, I don't.
That's what I was wondering. Like our shirts, we always put Yahuwah.
We put Yahuwah on the. Yeah, I don't think that's. I don't know. I do not know. I mean, I guess that is a good question. But I mean, I think I don't know. Does anyone have that? I guess I don't think bringing if you have a picture, not a picture, but you have Yah's name on the front of your shirt and you're wearing that, I do not think that is bringing Yah's name to naught. I think that is displaying it. I mean, I'm sure everybody has different viewpoints of that out there, but I don't see that as bringing it to naught.
The Grand says she cringes when she sees bumper stickers with his name on it.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, we probably all look at this stuff differently. We have always, and in fact, we used to have an organic food store down here in South America, and all of our shirts, everything that we had, our shirts all had Yahuwah on the back of the shirt, and so we walked around with the name of Yah on our back, and so and that's the thing. Like Jeremy says, is not bringing his name to naught, and that's what the people have always said. Every time we always wore our shirts, the people always say, "What is that? What's on the back of your shirt?" Same with the tzitzits. We do not, because his name is sacred, your body is flesh and lustful. So we definitely have other people with two different views on this thing, and I don't know. I guess I don't have an opinion on this, or I guess I will still stick with us wearing a shirt with Yah's name on it. I still have a lot of shirts with Yah's name on it. I don't know. I don't think that's bringing his name to naught. Forgive me, Father, if I have sinned, but I just don't think that is. So
the Grand says you can care for a shirt, so I guess when they get car, it probably gets dirtier.
You care for a shirt. I mean, your shirts. I mean, your shirts are still going to get holes in them. I mean, you're still going to have issues with them. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the difference between having a Yahuwah bumper sticker on and having a Yahuwah shirt would be. But again, I don't know everything. And yeah, and then, yeah. So Sister Barbara says you sweat. I mean, this is her viewpoint on this, definitely, for sure. And get dead skin on it. Yeah, I mean, you would do that too if you went into the temple, sis. You would probably get dead skin cells in the temple as well. Various things, but that'd be good. Yeah, it is a good conversation starter. Yeah, I am still I do appreciate Sister Barb on all of this stuff. I don't know so much as I can say that because I can't come to that conclusion myself. I'll pray about it. We'll all pray about it. But I just we've had Yah on our shirts forever.
And it always gets people asking, what is that? And we explain who he is, and it brings out more things to get people.
It does more than wearing tzitzits, because tzitzits, everybody assumes you're a Jew and they don't even want to talk to you. Whereas we've had so many conversation starters with things of that nature where we have it on there. Even scriptures. I mean, you have Yah's name on the scriptures as well. I mean, you're going to be opening the book, and I don't know. I guess this is a sticky territory is all it is. So anyway,
Rosie Chica says on a vehicle it can be bad depending on your driving.
Yeah, I suppose it could be. All right, let's go, guys. All right, so here we are. Always love the conversation. I think people of Yah should be able to have these conversations, and we should be able to discuss this without people inflamed. I mean, every one of us are going to see things differently, and there's no way we're going to convince each other of different things on various things at all. And this isn't one I could even convince anyone on, because I don't know. So I guess we're as a little people of Yah, we are indecisive on this. And so
why is it the religious bumper sticker drivers that cut you off?
probably because they probably bought the cars from somebody else who was religious. I don't know. All right, 12. And Moshe said to Yahuwah, "See, you are saying to me, bring up this people, but you have not made known to me whom you would send with me. Though you have said, I know you by name, and you have also found favor in my eyes. And now please, if I have found favor in your eyes, please show me your way, and let me know you, so that I may find favor in your eyes, and consider that this nation is your people." Guys, and this is, if this was a prayer, if you guys had to find a prayer that you had to pray, and obviously I'm not saying to recite this at all, but if you were looking for the words that you want, this is amazing. In verse 13, it says, "Please show me your way and let me know you." Guys, that is what you find in scriptures. That's what you find in the first page, all the way to the end, of the book. You find what the heart, mind, soul, and how our Creator is, right? When you read scriptures, when you find this is what you find. You find the way forward, which is the Torah, which is the way forward. And so this is amazing that Moshe is such an amazing dude that he has this kind of thing. Please show me your way and let me know you. And that's all we can ask for, right? Is that we follow him and do his ways and understand him. And yeah, so I'm reading chats here, guys. Just going on. Yeah. Okay. 14. And he said, "My presence goes, and I shall give you rest." And he said to him, "If your presence is not going, do not lead us up from here. For how shall it be known that I have found favor in your eyes, I and your people, except you go with us? Then we shall be distinguished, I and your people, from all the people who are upon the face of the earth." What is Moshe saying right here? What is he doing?
He's basically saying if Yah doesn't go up with them, if part of Yah doesn't go up with them, then he's not going in, and they shouldn't go, because only through Yahuwah will the people know that they are the Israelites of Yahuwah.
Yeah, and Moshe doesn't want to go unless he's there. What do you have something mystical?
Irma just says, "I believe that bringing his name to naught is wearing a shirt with his name on it and smoking a cigarette or doing something unrighteous like what you are representing."
It's an interesting. Yeah, those are interesting things. Definitely interesting. Okay, where are we at, fellas? Anyone?
You're
14?
on 17.
17. Okay, and Yahuwah said to Moshe, "Even this word you have spoken, I shall do, for you have found favor in my eyes, and I know you by name." Again, that's crazy, right? Having our Creator look at us and saying something like this, right? Like, I have found favor. You have found favor in my eyes, and I know you by name. How spectacular, right? How spectacular that our Creator would call out Moshe, would have this kind of word. And this is what all of us should be striving for, is that our Creator knows us by name, and that we are so embedded into His world, into His Torah, into everything that He does, that we can become little mini Moshes, that we can become friends of our Elohim. And that's just amazing verses. Okay, 18. Then he said, please show me your esteem. And he said, I shall cause all my goodness to pass before you, and I shall proclaim the name of Yahuwah before you, and I shall favor him whom I favor, and shall have compassion on him whom I have compassion. But he said, you are unable to see my face, for no man sees me and lives. Okay, what do we make of this, where we've had other examples where it seems like Moshe has seen him face to face, or has seen him very, very close?
I don't think he's seen his face, but he's seen like kind of like a presence, something of Yahuwah.
Yeah, and this is very interesting. And 21. And Yahuwah said, see, there is a place with me, and you shall stand on the rock. Hang tight, guys. I'm reading the comments as I try to get it. And it shall be, while my esteem passes by, that I shall put you in the cleft of the rock, and cover you with my hand, while I pass by. Then I shall take away my hand, and you shall see my back, but my face shall not be seen.
So he knows what kind of.
What do you think Yah's back looks like? You think it looks like a human back? You think
Sure, we're made in his image. I'm sure.
we're made in his image? You think he's large? You think
Probably.
he's as big as just? What do you think? How tall do you think Yah
I
is?
mean, he has to kind of probably fit down to human size. He found in Moses.
Yeah, well, there's he can fit. He can do whatever he wants to do, right? He's Yah. But I wonder what his like normal height is. Okay, here we go. 33, 12 or 13.
12.
Okay, this is out of the Targums, guys. And Moshe said before Yahuwah, lo, what have you said to me? Take this people up, but you have not made me to know whom you will send with me. By your word you have said, I have ordained you with a goodly name, and you have found favor before me. But now I pray, if I have found mercy before you, make me to know the way of your goodness, to understand your mercy when in dealing with just men it falls to them as it falls to the guilty, and the guilty as to the just. But on the contrary, how it befalls the just according to their righteous, and the guilty according to their guilt, that I might find mercy before you, and it be made manifest by you that this people is your people. And he said, await until the face of my displeasure shall have gone away, and afterward I will give you rest. And he said to him, if your wrath go not from us, suffer us not to go from here under the frown of your displeasure. In what will it be known that I have found mercy before you, but in the converse of your presence with us, that distinguishing signs may be wrought for us in the withholdment of the Ruach of prophecy from the nations, and by your speaking by the set-apart Ruach to me and to your people, that we may be distinguished from all the people upon the face of the earth. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, this thing also which you have spoken of will I do, for you have found mercy before me, and I have ordained you with a goodly name. And he said, show now unto me your glory. But he said, behold, I will make all the measure of my goodness pass before you, and I will give utterance in the good name of the word of Yahuwah before you. And I will have compassion upon whom I see it right to have compassion, and it will be merciful to whom I see it right to have mercy. And he said, you cannot see the visage of my face, visage, for no man can see me and abide alive. And Yahuwah said, behold, a place is prepared before me, and you shall stand upon the rock. And it shall be, when the glory of my presence passes before you, I will put you in a cavern of the rock, and will overshadow you with my word, until the time that I have passed by. And I will make the host of messengers who stand and minister before me to pass by, and you shall see my glorious presence. But the face of the glory of my presence you cannot be able to see. Okay, all right, that is it.
That's pretty similar,
That-
besides the first part.
Yeah, that was pretty similar compared to the last part on that. I think did the chat die? Did anyone still chat, or are we dead?
Nobody hasn't said
Okay.
anything other than Jeannie
Okay.
earlier talking about repenting.
Okay, well, I think that is it. If anybody has any kind of questions out there or anything, let us know before we sign off here. There we go. Okay, yeah, chat's still up. You never know with YouTube. It's always sketchy with everything. All right, everybody, we love you all. We hope you guys have a wonderful day and definitely a wonderful Shabbat. Thank you guys for being part of our family. We truly love you all. Jade, will you please bless our brothers and sisters out there?
Yep. Yahuwah bless you and guard you. Who may his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. They shall put my name upon Yashrael, and I will bless them.
Okay. All right, everybody, here's our exit. We're apologizing for the dogs. All right, fam. We love you very much. May Yahuwah bless you and keep you. May his light forever shine on you. May his grace forever shine on you. May the sacrifice by Messiah Yahushua never fail to enter your understanding. And may we all get together in the kingdom to come. Much love to every one of you guys. Shabbat shalom.